The world runs on this invisible network, a silent trillion-dollar machine that brings everything from your morning coffee to your brand new phone right to your doorstep. So today, we're going to pull back the curtain on this hidden world of logistics. Think about it. It's something we do all the time, right? But that one simple click, it sets in motion this incredibly complex ballet of people, technology, and transportation. So what is the machinery that kicks into gear the second your order gets confirmed? Okay, so to really get that big picture, we've got to start with the engine that drives it all, the whole concept of logistics itself. At its heart, logistics is really the art and science of getting the right thing to the right place at exactly the right time. But it's not just about moving boxes from A to B. It's about managing the flow of the products, for sure, but also all the critical information that has to go with them. Think of it like the incredibly detailed blueprint for movement. I absolutely love this quote because it just perfectly captures the stakes. I mean, think back to the empty store shelves during the early days of the pandemic. For the most part, it wasn't that we'd run out of products. We had run out of logistics. The oxygen got cut off and the whole system just struggled to breathe. That's how vital this all is. And believe it or not, this isn't some new idea. The term actually started with Napoleon's armies, figuring out how to house and supply troops. But it wasn't until 1962 that the legendary business thinker Peter Drucker pointed out that it was this massive, unexplored territory in the economy. And now, fast forward to today, and it's a multi-trillion-dollar industry that's at the very heart of global business. Okay, so if logistics is the engine, what's the rest of the car look like? Let's zoom out a bit and see how this engine fits into a much, much larger machine. Right, and this is key. As absolutely critical as logistics is, it doesn't operate in a vacuum. It's really a tactical function. It's the how that serves a much broader, more strategic framework. And that bigger framework, that's what we call supply chain management, or SCM. This isn't just about one company's shipping department. No. It's about coordinating everything across a whole network of companies, from the folks who source the raw materials to the factory that makes the product, all the way to you, the customer. So let's really nail down the difference here, because it's super important. If supply chain management is the entire nervous system that's directing the whole body, then logistics is the circulatory system. The arteries and veins, making sure everything gets exactly where it needs to go. In short, SCM is the master plan, the what and the why. Logistics is the hands-on execution of movement within that plan. It's the how. Let's just follow a product for a second to see how this all clicks together. A product's journey starts with sourcing raw materials, then it's produced, then it's stored in a warehouse. Okay, each of those steps is part of the supply chain. But that final critical piece of the puzzle, getting it from that warehouse to your front door, that is pure logistics. All right, let's zoom out one last time. We've gone from a single package to the whole supply chain. But believe it or not, the impact is even bigger than that. We're talking about the health of entire economies here. So just like logistics is the oxygen for a supply chain, it's also the very lifeblood of national and global economies. I mean, think about it. A country that can't efficiently get its products, whether it's food or manufactured goods, to the global market is a country that just can't compete. Smooth logistics allows nations to grow and prosper. So just how much lifeblood are we talking about here? Well, the global trade volume that depends on these systems is over, wait for it, $27 trillion. Let that number sink in. That's the staggering scale of the economic activity that depends on getting logistics right. And this is where it gets really fascinating. This isn't just a coincidence. Countries that can move goods efficiently, reliably, and cheaply have a huge competitive advantage on the world stage. Good logistics infrastructure makes trade easier and reduces costs for everybody involved. It's a massive win-win. And the cool thing is, this isn't just a theory. We can actually measure this. A study of 34 different OECD countries found a really clear link. When a country invests in its logistics infrastructure, things like its highways, its railways, and its air freight capacity, the per capita income of its citizens actually goes up. Better infrastructure literally makes a country and its people wealthier. So where does this all go from here? Well, the whole world of logistics and supply chains is basically on the brink of a massive revolution. The future is really being shaped by three big things: smarter technology to make everything more efficient, a huge push for greater environmental sustainability, and this critical need for resilience, the ability to handle shocks and disruptions. Let's break those down really quick. Okay, first up, technology. It's the biggest game changer. You've got AI getting way better at predicting what we're going to buy so companies can have the right stuff in the right place ahead of time. You've got IoT sensors that let us track a shipping container in real time, even monitoring its temperature from across the ocean. Blockchain can create the secure, unchangeable record of a product's journey. And of course, you have robots and drones automating everything from packing boxes in a warehouse to final delivery. The whole process is just getting faster and smarter. So all of this innovation, it promises this world where things move faster and more efficiently than ever before, but it also creates a system that's unbelievably complex and interconnected. It really makes you wonder, as this global machine gets smarter, who really reaps the biggest rewards? And maybe more importantly, what are the consequences for all of us when a system this vital, this interconnected, inevitably breaks? Are we building a more efficient world? Or are we actually building a more fragile one?